Hello everyone, welcome to Adhikary Education and assamexam.com. In this video, we are going to discuss most important points and the highlights of the Union Budget 2023, which was recently announced by our Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. This video is going to be very important for any competitive exam as frequently questions are asked from the Union Budget. As you can see in this income diagram, the main composition of income for the government of India is borrowing and other liabilities. That is, if the government gets 100 rupees, 34 rupees comes from the borrowing. Then, second most important income for the government of India comes from GST and other taxes, which is 17%. Then comes income tax, which compose around 15%. Then comes corporate tax, which is around 15%. Then other important streams of revenue for government of India is union excise duties, custom, non-tax receipt and non-debt capital receipt. And if you see in the expenditure side, the biggest expenditure for government of India is interest payment. Because if you see in the income side also, biggest income is from borrowing and liability. That is why the interest payment part is also one of the biggest expenditure for the government of India. Next biggest expenditure is state share in tax and duties. Government of India has to share the collection of taxes with the states. So this becomes the second biggest expenditure for government of India. Then comes central sector schemes. So many schemes government of India releases. So in those schemes, government of India invest around 17% of the total expenditure. Then comes finance commission and other transfers, which is again 9%. Then other centrally sponsored schemes, which are sponsored by center but run by state government. So for those schemes also, government of India has to bear the expenditure. Then in defense, government spend around 8%. In other expenditure, another 8%. Some subsidies, so many subsidies government of India gives to the citizen. This is also 7%. Then in pension, another 4%. Now we'll see some important points regarding Indian economy. So per capita income of India is now around 1.97 lakh. Now Indian economy is the 5th largest economy in the world, which was 10th largest 9 years before. Now this 5th largest is in terms of GDP, nominal GDP, which is called nominal GDP. There is another term called PPP. In PPP terms, that is in India's rank in GDP in PPP term is 3rd. Only China and US is ahead of India in GDP PPT terms. But in GDP in nominal terms, India is 5th. Ahead of India, US, China, Japan, Germany are there. India's GDP is around 3.47 trillion US dollar. Next point is GDP growth for the financial year 2024 is estimated at 6.4%. And for the current financial year, that is 2023, it is 7.2%. The nominal growth has been assumed at 10.5% year on year. Then fiscal deficit is estimated to reduce to 5.9% in financial year 2024, which is 6.4% in the current year, that is 2023. And that fiscal deficit will go below 4.5% by the financial year 2025. India's capex to GDP ratio, that is capital expenditure to GDP ratio, is at 3.3%, which is the highest since financial year 2004. Then capital investment also has been increased by 33% to almost 10 trillion Indian rupees, which is like 10 lakh crore Indian rupees. Then highest capital outlay for Indian Railway also, which declared in this budget, which is 2.4 trillion Indian rupees. In this budget, 20 trillion rupees has been targeted for agricultural credit. For Prime Minister Awas Yojana, that is Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana outlay increased to 79 billion rupees. Gross borrowing for Indian government is 15.43 trillion and net market borrowing is 11.8 trillion rupees. This budget has also announced minor change in the income tax slab. In the old tax regime, there is no change and it will be as per existing rate. In the new tax regime, there are some changes that Government of India has done. Earlier, there was 0% tax for income up to 0 to 2.5 lakh. Now that limit they have increased to 0 to 3 lakhs. And similarly, for 5% tax also, they have made the limit from 3 lakhs to 6 lakh. Accordingly, for all other rates, they have increased the slab. But all the changes has been done only for new tax regime. Those who are opting for old tax regime, for them, it will be same. There is no change in the taxation. And effectively, no tax need to be paid up to 7 lakh of income in the new tax regime for individual taxpayer. This incentives has been given to the new tax regime so that more and more people adapt to the new tax regime. As after the introduction of new tax regime, not too many people has adopted this new tax regime. So government is incentivizing the new tax regime so that more and more people will adopt it. Then the revised estimate for the financial year 2023 total receipt other than borrowing is 24 lakh crore. Net tax receipt is 20.9 lakh crore. Total expenditure is 41.9 lakh crore. Total capital expenditure is about 7.3 lakh crore. Fiscal deficit comes at 6.4% of the GDP, which is as per the budget estimate. Then for the budget estimate for the financial year 2023-24, total receipt other than borrowing is estimated to be 27 lakh crore and total expenditure is estimated to be 45 lakh crore. Net tax received is estimated to be 23 lakhs crore and fiscal deficit they are estimating it to be 5.9% of the GDP. This Union Budget 2023 has discussed the theme of Saptarishi. This is 7 priorities. So those priorities are around inclusive development, which is like the development of all the section of the society, infrastructure and investment, spending more money in the construction of infrastructure. Then unleashing the potential, it is like green growth, that is sustainable growth along with sustainability and protection of the environment. Then improving the financial sector, youth power, it is nothing but skilling and making the youth of the India to be more employable and more productive. Then reaching the last mile. So whatever steps government is taking, it should reach to the final destination. Some of the important schemes which are discussed in Union Budget 2023 are Atmanirbhar Clean Plant Program with an outlay of 2,200 crore is to be launched to boost availability of disease-free quality planting material for a high-value horticulture crop. Government has also planned to recruit almost 38,000 teachers and support staff for the 740 Ekalaiba Model Residential School. These Ekalaiba Model Schools are mainly introduced for the education of tribal people. Then outlay for Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana has been enhanced by 66% to almost 79,000 crore. Capital outlay of 2.4 lakhs crore has been provided for the railway. And Urban Infrastructure Development Fund UIDF will be established through the use of priority sector lending shortfalls, which will be managed by National Housing Bank, and it will be used to create urban infrastructure in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, that is smaller cities, not the main metro cities but the smaller cities. Then another entity DigiLocker is to be set up for use by MSMEs, large business, charitable trust to store and share documents online securely. Then 100 numbers of labs to be set up for 5G services based application development, so that new opportunities may be arises, new business model and employment potential can be generated. Now in agriculture sector, what are the reforms announced in agriculture sector? 5% compressed biogas mandate will be introduced for all organizations marketing natural and biogas. Center is going to facilitate 1 crore farmer to adopt natural farming over next 3 years. For this, 10,000 bio-input resource center is to be set up, creating a national level distributed micro fertilizer and pesticide manufacturing network. Agriculture Accelerator Fund to be set up to encourage agri startups by young entrepreneurs in rural areas mainly. Then computerization of 63,000 primary agricultural credit societies with an investment of 2,500 crore. Then a massive decentralized storage capacity is to be set up to help farmer to store their produces, and they can sell the produces whenever needed at the best prices. Then some other initiatives in the agriculture sector. To make India a global hub for Sri Anna, Indian Institute of Millet Research, Hyderabad will be supported as Center of Excellence for sharing best practices, research and technology. Mainly, this is for the promotion of millet. You might have seen government is promoting millet in various ways, and government of India wants to make India a global hub in this. Then 20 lakh crore agricultural credit for animal husbandry, dairy and fisheries. Then a new scheme of Prime Minister Matsya Sampadana Yojana with an investment of 6,000 crores to be launched to further enable activities of fishermen, fish vendors and micro and small enterprises to improve value chain efficiencies and expand market. Then digital public infrastructure for agriculture to be built as an open source, open standard and interoperable public good to enable inclusive farmer-centric solution and support for growth of agri-tech industry. In the sustainability sector, Prime Minister Program for Restoration, Awareness, Nourishment and Amelioration of Mother Earth, which in short form is PM Pranam, to be launched to incentivize states and union territory to promote alternative fertilizer and balanced use of chemical fertilizer. Then another initiative, that is Mangrove Initiative for Shoreline Habitation and Tangible Income, which in short form will be MISTI, to be taken up for mangrove plantation along the coastline and on salt pan lands. Then another 500 new waste to wealth plants under Govardhan, that is galvanizing organic bioagro resources Dhan scheme, to be established for promoting circular economy with a total investment of 10,000 crore. This is nothing but we are generating lot of waste, and if those wastes can be utilized, processed somehow and utilized in a better way to manufacture some organic manures or fertilizer, and it can be utilized economically, then our wastage also will be reduced and it will also give some economic product. Now some schemes in education and skill development area. Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana 4.0 to be launched to skill youths within the next 3 years, covering new age courses for industry 4.0 like areas like coding, artificial intelligence, robotics, mechatronics, internet of things, 3D printing, drones and other soft skills. 30 Skill India International Centers are to be set up across different states to skill youths for international opportunities. Then another, a 10 lakh crore capital investment to enhance growth potential and job creation and crowd in private investment and provide a cushion against global headwind. District Institutes of Education and Training is to be developed as a vibrant institute of excellence for teachers training. Then National Digital Library for Children and Adolescents are to be set up for quality books across geographies, language, genre and levels. Then iGOT Karma Yogi, an online training platform, is to be developed for continuous learning opportunities for government employees to upgrade their skills and facilitate pupil-centric approach. An unified Skill India digital platform is to be launched for enabling demand-based formal skilling, linking with employers, including MSME, and facilitating access to entrepreneurship schemes. Direct benefit transfer under a Pan-India National Apprentice Promotion Scheme is to be rolled out to provide stipend support to 47 lakhs youth in the next 3 years. Then some reforms in the industry areas. Revamped credit guarantee schemes for MSME from 1st April 2023 through infusion of almost 9,000 crores. Then a central processing center to be set up for faster response to the companies. Then a raised presumptive taxation threshold for micro entrepreneurs and certain professionals. For micro entrepreneurs, the limit for presumptive taxation will be 3 crores, and for certain professionals it will be 75 lakhs. But there is one condition: if the cash received during the fiscal year are less than 5% of the total gross receipt or turnover. Only if their cash received during the financial year is less than 5% of their total gross receipt, then only their presumptive taxation threshold will be increased to this new limit. Then date of incorporation of income tax benefit to startups extended till 31/3/2024. Some of the initiatives regarding financial sectors which are announced in the Union Budget are: maximum deposit limit for senior citizen savings schemes to be enhanced from 15 lakh to 30 lakhs. Earlier it was 15 lakh, now it will be 30 lakh. Then a national financial information registry which is to be set up to serve central repository of financial and ancillary information for facilitating efficient flow of credit, promoting financial inclusion, and fostering financial stability. Financial sector regulators to carry out a comprehensive review of the existing regulations. GIFT IFSC is Gujarat International Financial Tech City, which is an international financial service center which is established near Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Government is trying to promote that new city as a international city where most of the international companies, financial companies, they can set up their offices and do their operation. And those offices which are run from the Gujarat IFSC city, it will have many benefits compared to if they are running it from any other places in India. To enhance business activities in GIFT City, government has taken following steps: delegating power under the SEZ Act to IFSCA to avoid dual regulation. Then setting up a single window IT systems for registration and approval from various agencies like IFSCA, SCG, GSTN, RBI, SEBI, IRDA. To set up a business, we have to take approval and registration from various agencies. Now government is providing a single window IT systems for doing all the activities. Then countries looking for digital continuity solutions would be facilitated for setting up their data embassies in GIFT IFSC. Then some other initiative in the financial sectors are: SEBI is to develop, regulate, maintain, and enforce norms and standards for education in NISM and to recognize awards of degree, diplomas, and certificate. NISM is National Institute for Securities and Market. This is an institute which is giving education and some degrees related to equity market and other capital market instruments. Then an integrated IT portal to enable investors to easily reclaim unclaimed shares and unpaid dividends from Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority. Then another new schemes, Mahila Samman Saving Certificate to be launched. A deposit up to 2 lakhs can be made in woman or girl's name for 2 years. And it will have a fixed interest rate of 7.5. Then maximum deposit limit for monthly income account scheme enhanced from 4.5 lakhs to 9 lakhs for single account and from 9 lakhs to 15 lakhs for joint accounts. Then targeted fiscal deficit will be below 4.5% by the financial year 2025-26. Fiscal deficit of 3.5% of gross state domestic product allowed for states. Given that there is a condition that 0.5% is tied to the power sector reform. If the state reforms their power sector as per the union government, then only that fiscal deficit of 0.5% will be increased for the states. Then some initiative in the development area. Aspirational block program covering 500 blocks launched for saturation of essential government services across multiple domains such as health, nutrition, education, agriculture, water resource, financial inclusion, skill development, and basic infrastructure. Around 15,000 crores for implementation of Pradhan Mantri PVTG development mission for the next 3 years under the Development Action Plan for Scheduled Tribes. PVTG is so this scheme is mainly targeted for the PBTG group. PBTG groups are some groups of tribes which are recognized by the government of India as particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Now we will discuss some initiatives that government has discussed in the technology and R&D areas. 3 Center of Excellence for Artificial Intelligence to be set up in top educational institute to realize the vision of Make AI in India and Make AI Work for India. Then another mission, then National Data Governance Policy is to be brought out to unleash innovation and research by startups and academia. An R&D grant for lab-grown diamond sector to encourage indigenous production of lab-grown diamond seeds and machines so that it will reduce the import dependency of diamonds. Then entity DigiLockers to be set up for use by MSME, large business and charitable trust to store and share documents online and in safe and secure mode. Then 100 labs to be set up for 5G service based application development so that new opportunities, new business model and employment potential infrastructure area. An investment of almost 75000 crore including 15,000 crores from private sources for 100 critical transport infrastructure project for last and first mile connectivity to ports, coal, steel, fertilizer factories and food grain sectors. Rupees 5,300 crore to be given as central assistance to Apar Bhadra project, which is in Karnataka, to provide sustainable micro irrigation and filling up of surface tank for drinking water. Annual production of 5 million metric ton under green hydrogen mission to be targeted by 2030 to facilitate transition of the economy to low carbon intensity and to reduce the dependence on fossil fuel imports. Some other initiatives in the infrastructure sectors are new infrastructure finance secretariat established to enhance opportunities for private investment in infrastructure sectors, 35,000 crore outlay for energy security, energy transition and net zero objectives. Then battery storage system to be promoted to steer the economy on sustainable development path. Then 20,700 crores outlay has been provided for renewable energy grid integration. Some proposal in the health sectors are sickle cell anemia elimination mission is launched. 157 new nursing colleges are to be established. New program to promote research in pharmaceuticals to be launched. In the preservation of art and culture, Bharat Shared Repository of Inscriptions (SHRI) is to be set up in a digital epigraphy museum with digitization of almost 1 lakh ancient inscriptions. Most of the northeast region is underdeveloped, but recently we have seen more interest from the government of India for the development of northeast states. If we see the allocation of northeast states in the union budget, we can have a fair idea whether actually government is walking the talk. If we see in the union budget 2023, government of India has doubled the allocation for northeast to 5,892 crores, which is almost 110% hike from the previous years of 2,800 crore. So it shows government is having the intent and they are dedicating fund for the development of the region. Then allocation toward Prime Minister's Northeast region is also increased to 2,200 crore. If you see in the graph, there is a increasing trend in the allocation of fund toward the Northeast region. And in this Northeast Special Infrastructure Development Scheme also, last year the fund allocation was 1,400. This year it is more than 2,400 crore. And this increase in allocation has also become more significant as 3 states of Northeast, that is Tripura, Meghalaya and Nagaland, are going for election in this year. That's all in this video. If you find this video informative, you can like this video and share it with your friends. You can also subscribe to our channel Adhikary Education. And you can also visit our website assamexam.com, where more important resources for the competitive exams are provided regularly. Thank you.